Ryan Cole, congratulations. Another championship that makes 6 in a row for the Air Force Falcons if you're talking cross-country, indoor and outdoor track. Coach of the Year, so many things we could talk about, but you scored a lot of points. I'm not sure you were expecting to see the highest score in 17 years for your team. Were you overjoyed, pleased with your team's performance in the Mountain West Championships?
Yeah, we were really happy for the group. They competed really well, but going in, we talked about being the team we were capable of being. And we figured whether you win, lose, or that sort of thing, you want to walk away feeling like, okay, that was everything we could do on any given year with whatever we're dealing with and with the personnel that we have and who we're competing against. And we felt like on the men's side this year, we were probably the favorites going in. I think when you scored it out or projected it, it was about a 23-point advantage going into the final day. I think I had us up about 14, and that can change really quickly. And then, when you look at the final score, you're like, well, it wasn't close at all. And that's really a huge compliment to the student athletes and how they competed, to the coaching staff and how they had them prepared to go out and compete, and really just the program. So that was really awesome to see. And both genders exceeded their projection by quite a bit. They competed really well, and you just kind of, subjectively, you stand back and watch it. And you kind of have an internal feeling on how we did, and I was really proud of how both programs competed.
Yeah. On the men's side, 6, I believe, individual champions as well. Were you expecting to, obviously the last day you're going in and it's still touch and go, but were you expecting to get as many champions as you did and to see both teams really outperform what expectations were?
Well, there's usually an adage that to win, you need winners. But then you look at last year, and our men won, and we had very few events that we won, and our depth really carried us. This year we had a bit of both, and you saw that both indoor and outdoor, where we had some very strong competitors within our conference. They won their individual events, but then we also had team members surrounding them, and so that made it a pretty tough challenge for other teams to compete against us. And so it was really cool to see. There are always those spots you're like, oh, if this person could have been a little further up or that sort of thing. But overall, we competed really well, and again, that was just awesome to see and get to see the team have just an overall really positive experience.
So from here, it's the NCAA regionals to try and qualify for nationals, and you've got a number of folks in there as well. I believe 16 men in 17 events and 3 women. Your reaction to getting that many in at that level?
Well, it's a continuation. The conference meet is the first event of your championship season. Then you have to go through the NCAA prelim, and when that transition first occurred, because it used to be a descending order list, and then when the outdoor track season changed, where indoor is still a descending order list, but outdoor went to a qualifying meet. There was some concern or how that was all going to play out, and it's been awesome, because it's not just about having your best day at some point during a season. It's earning the opportunity to go and compete, but then you have to compete on the day to make the NCAA final. And our people tend to compete pretty well, so it's not just about when the stars align. It's how consistent you are and can you get it done when the lights come on and the pressure's on. So I really like the NCAA prelim. So having that many people there, that's always our goal. Last year we had a couple vans in the parking lot, and then the programs you want to be like, they have a charter bus sitting next to the curb waiting to pick up their team. I want to be a charter bus team. So we need more than just 5 people at that meet. So you want to have 20, 25, 30. You want to have a large contingent from your program qualifying, and then you want to see them advance. You can't score points until you're at the NCAA finals. So we want to get as many people through the NCAA prelim as we can, and then we get ready for the national championships and see what we can do there.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you tell these 19 athletes as you head out for the regionals? What's important? Because if you look at the numbers, they could be like way down on the list, but that doesn't mean anything once you put the toe to the line, so to speak.
Yeah, you have to be ready to compete. And again, it's about earning it on the day. So typically, if you can do what you did to get to the regional meet when you're at the regional meet, you tend to exceed your ranking. But we had Hannah Everson was one of our first to do it, where she was 37 out of 48, and then she went to the NCAA prelim and won her event. So it can be done. But you want to go in, and like with all of our championship events, you use that regular season to make your adjustments, to ready yourself for your culminating events. And then by the time you get to your culminating events, you do what you've been doing. You do what you're prepared to do. And so whether it's a conference championship, a national championship, a U.S. championship, and Olympic trials, it doesn't really matter. You want to go in and execute the way you're prepared to execute. So we did that at the conference meet, and I expect we'll do that again at the NCAA prelim.
I want to ask you, because you seem to be, you're the kind of guy, and I know you are, you're already looking ahead and you're like, how do we prepare for that, for the next season, which will be cross country coming up? But how do you, as a person, as a coach, focus on each individual, because all of these athletes have a shot here to get to the finals?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was walking around to the conference meet, and you spend a lot of time looking at your phone, looking at the projection. We have a real-time spreadsheet that we update after each event, so you see the end score fluctuating as the event starts and then as the track meet plays out. And I think there was one point during the conference meet that it kind of stopped, and you quit looking at the projection, you quit worrying about the final outcome, and you remind yourself to enjoy the moment, because you have men and women out there that have worked really hard to see how well they can do in their event. You want to do everything you can to support them in that moment and enjoy that moment with them. And so I think sometimes all of us can start to look too far ahead, and you start to forget to be in the moment. And one message I try to tell the team is there's a shelf life on this thing. It goes by pretty quick, right? Getting older, that's what old people say, how fast it goes by. But yeah, it goes by pretty fast, whether it's a season or a career. And so you want to remind yourself to be in the moment and enjoy it. And if you're really good at living in the moment and making the most of that moment, your outcomes tend to go pretty well. But you want to enjoy it with them, because pretty soon, Cameron Harris is going to be graduated, no longer on our team. And so he's doing really well, and you want to enjoy that with him, and just be in that moment where you get to stand back and watch him hurdle and be like, wow, that guy's really good. And that's kind of fun. And then pretty soon, Javen Bostic's not going to be a sophomore anymore. He'll be leaving the program. And so you want to appreciate what he's capable of doing and all the hard work he puts in. And so, you want to just be able to be there and support your team and help guide your team, but also enjoy it, because it does go by pretty fast.
Coach Cole, good luck to you and all your athletes as you go to prelims. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thank you.